Welcome to the first module of the course section devoted to the analysis of financial statements, where we shift our attention away from how financial statements are actually prepared to how they should be interpreted and analyzed. Over the subsequent modules, we will walk through the measures and techniques which are commonly used by analysts to evaluate various aspects of a company's financial performance and condition. Analysts examine a company's financial performance for a number of reasons. They may be concerned with whether an investment in the company's equity instruments will provide an adequate rate of return, whether a loan or trade payable will be repaid, or whether the company is making progress towards a stated target, such as increasing margins or lowering costs. It should be stressed that the goal of the analysis, that is the question which the analyst is trying to answer, will, to a large extent, determine the specific tools and techniques that ought to be used. What is more, the evaluation of a company's past performance addresses not only what happened, but also why it happened. That is, it attempts to find the causes behind the performance and how that performance links to the company's strategy. Moreover, such analysis will typically relate the measured performance to an appropriate benchmark, such as the company's own historical performance, the performance of a competitor, or market expectations. There are many relationships between financial accounts and between expected relationships from one point in time to another. Ratios are a useful way of expressing these relationships, and financial analysts commonly use ratio analysis to facilitate the assessment of a company's performance over time or in comparison to other entities. Before we proceed, it is important to stress that there are no authoritative bodies specifying exact formulas for computing ratios or providing a standard, comprehensive list of ratios. Formulas and even names of ratios often differ from analyst to analyst or from database to database. The number of different ratios that may be created is practically unlimited. There are, however, widely accepted ratios that have been found to be useful, and we will be presenting and discussing these measures in the subsequent modules of this section. You should, however, appreciate that different ratios may be used in practice and that certain industries may have unique ratios which are tailored to their individual characteristics. Moreover, it must be stressed that the computation of a ratio is rarely the answer or ultimate outcome of the analyst's efforts, but merely a starting point for further queries and investigation. The computed ratio is an indicator of some aspect of a company's performance, reflecting what happened, but not why it happened or whether what happened was good, bad, or average. And it is typically the latter two questions which interest analysts the most. The overwhelming popularity of ratios and ratio analysis may be linked to several factors, including the ease with which most ratios are computed from financial statements and market data, their relative nature, which facilitates comparisons across companies of different sizes and operating in different industries, geographical environments, or using different presentational currencies. And finally, the fact that when computed on a systematic basis, they allow for the identification of trends and shifts in the critical relationships which they are designed to monitor and track. Ratio analysis is, however, not free from limitations. Some of the most important factors to consider include the fact that most financial ratios are computed from historic information, which naturally raises doubts about their application to forecasting future performance. In particular, financial statements information does not reflect planned or anticipated actions by the company's management. In those cases, where future actions are expected to diverge significantly from those observed in the past, the relationships computed on the basis of historic data will probably not hold anymore. The need to determine whether the results of ratio analysis are consistent, as different sets of ratios may sometimes provide conflicting signals. The need to apply judgment in the interpretation of ratio levels. After all, a key issue is whether a ratio for a company is within a reasonable range, and providing an answer to that question typically requires considerable skill and experience. In reality, irrespective of the actual ratio being computed or analyzed, there is really no such thing as an ideal value. A lot will depend on the specific circumstances of the business, as well as the other amounts and relationships observed in the financial statements. The use of alternative accounting policies and creative accounting practices. As you very well know, entities reporting under IFRS may choose from a number of approaches when it comes to measuring the value of assets and liabilities, or reporting items of profit or loss. Ratios computed on the basis of financial statements that employ different accounting choices may not be comparable unless appropriate adjustments are made. We have already stated that there is no such thing as a universally applied list of ratio formulas, which naturally generates considerable difficulties when attempting to compare ratio levels coming from different sources. If, on top of this, you add the fact that companies may apply different methods and approaches to the measurement of the same financial statements items, the interpretational difficulties magnify. Many of the most popular ratios used in financial analysis utilize numbers coming from the statement of financial position, and these are naturally measured and presented as at a single point in time, typically the end of the reporting period. It is important to appreciate that those end-of-period values may not necessarily be reflective of levels which are observed throughout the period, and this is especially true for companies operating in sectors where activity is seasonal. In all honesty, I believe that the most important risk or danger associated with ratios is the tendency exhibited by many analysts to merely focus on ratios without attempting to gain a proper understanding of the company, its business and history. Financial analysis cannot be brought down to the monitoring of a set of figures. Some of the most important factors which determine the success of a company are not easily quantified and may not be reflected in the financial statements at all. A company's relations with key customers, the size of its order book, or the satisfaction of its employees are just a few of the examples.